And we're recording. This is Peaked in College. We are back after a long hiatus, probably about 2 months. I apologize to our friends and family that actually listened to this show. Josh McInerney, I'm sorry for the delay. I believe I'm not even going to say because I don't even know what episode this is. Do you have any idea, Craig?
I have no idea.
Okay.
9, 8,
Episode
10.
episode 8. We are back for Peaked in College. Craig, welcome back, buddy. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, we took a quick sabbatical, but my New Year's resolution is to do this more regularly. My girlfriend got me a planner, so I'm now in charge of scheduling. So please reach out to me with any complaints if shows are too frequent or too infrequent. It's good to be back, though.
And sponsors, please reach out to Craig as well. He's going to be handling all the sponsorships from now on. So Budweiser, please redirect all your emails from my email to Craig's email. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a whole section here in the back for, to keep track of all our advertisement inquiries.
Miscellaneous
Pages
notes.
are filling up quick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We can't just do a full episode of ads. So guys, the openings are closing real quickly. So please get those emails out. So the reason for the long delay, obviously we ran over the holidays and somebody on the show had a big move. I'm still living in Iowa City, so it must be you, Craig. Tell the fans about that move.
Yeah. So I used to live in Louisville, Kentucky. I was a Southern boy, and I decided to pack my bags and move back to the Midwest, to the great city of Chicago. It's cold again. I grew up in Minnesota, and I forgot how much I hated winters. It was like nice that the coldest would ever be in Louisville would be like 30 degrees on like a wind chill 30 degrees kind of day. And man, it's been brutal, but it happened super quick. Happened right before Thanksgiving. That my girlfriend found out that she got a sweet job offer in Chicago, so we packed our bags and moved 2 weeks later, and here we are, finally unpacked and settled in Chicago.
Well, good. I'm glad you made it safely, and I heard that somebody told me that you're now a Bears fan. So welcome aboard the Justin Fields bandwagon. We're in search of a new coach. It's an exciting time to be a Bears fan. So welcome aboard, buddy.
I was really bummed that the Bears fired Nagy, but I'll be a bandwagon Cubs fan. That's what I've decided, and I'm already kind of a Bulls fan. So
going with the Cubbies and the Bulls. Okay, yeah, that's fair. You're a T-Wolves fan. They're in the West. The Bulls are in the East. You can root for them. So yeah. That's good. Okay, well, sounds good. Did you hire movers or did you do it all your own?
We did it all on our own. It was brutal. I'm still having back pain. And my girlfriend's 4'11" and a half on a good day. Fortunately, when we got to Chicago, we had some strong friends help us move stuff in, but moving out was a struggle. It was just me and Sophia moving stuff out. And I got a quick story to tell with that. So we went to the U-Haul, and Sophia drove up her car beforehand, or separately, so that we'd have a car up here. And she left about an hour earlier just so I could clean up a couple things, bring down a couple more heavy things that I wasn't going to need her help with because I'm super strong. And so she left about an hour earlier, and we're on the road, we're driving, and then we start to realize that her phone's going to die, and then it dies. And we're not familiar with Chicago. We had no idea where we were living. We knew we were living in the Lincoln Park area, but we didn't know how to get to Lincoln Park from the Chicago highway. So it was absolutely brutal. She had to drive around until she found a Target, but she got a phone charger, and we made it. Driving through Chicago in a U-Haul, I do not recommend to anyone. But really, I feel like I'm bringing a lot of negative energy to the show today. Just the whole moving process is my grind, my gears.
Yeah, dude, you're not wrong there. Moving is the worst thing on planet Earth, and I would say I tip my cap to Sophia because if that happened to me, I would probably have a mental breakdown. And I am terrible with directions. I can't figure anything out without my phone. I would be a lost man. And a lot of older folks that are watching this show, like my parents, they're not old, but that generation of people, they're gonna be watching this saying you could have used a map or something like that or worked your way through. Number one, we do not carry maps anymore. I remember from my childhood, we had 4 or 5 state maps just loaded in the van, ready at all times. I'm like, we are ready for any type of road trip through all 50 states. Number two, even if I had a map, I have no idea how to read that thing, especially if you're by yourself. What are you supposed to, have you seen how big those maps are? You're supposed to sprawl it out on top of the dash, and you're trying to drive, you got this thing flapping in your face. That's just dangerous.
Right.
And just
Yeah,
to travel, that's one thing. And then
yeah,
like the whole packing aspect of the move, like I can't believe you did it with Sophia. Like no offense to her, but that's pretty much a one man show. I mean,
yeah, yeah. And the previous time that we had moved, it was me, Sophia, a girl named Zoe who's maybe an inch taller than Sophia, and then another one of our friends who had tendonitis in her knee and couldn't go upstairs. So
geez.
yeah, my back's been hurting for a while with the move, so I think I'm probably gonna have to give in next time and get movers. But
You're carrying the team on your back, Craig. And
yeah,
I bet you're looking the most physically fit you've looked since college.
no, not at all. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Joe Schlick, who did help me move a couple of heavy things in Louisville. He's a listener of the show. So
Okay, shout out Joe Slick. Joe Slick's got a good rap name already. He doesn't have to change anything.
Yeah.
Joey Slick.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Joey. Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, moving's probably one of the worst things in the whole entire world, I would say. I mean, packing up all your stuff into boxes or whatever you can and jamming it into some sort of car or renting a U-Haul and paying all that money or hiring movers and paying all that kind of money. Like, dude, it's so expensive to move. I feel like it's human nature to like make living sacrifices just to avoid moving.
Yes, and I wish I would have, because I think that's why it sucked so much, is I didn't make a human sacrifice.
Yeah, dude. Like I think about it, like Nate and I lived at Drake Park for 2 years. And the main reason for that was just because we didn't want to move. And like, so we lived in this rat infested place for 2 years. This show is obviously not sponsored by Drake Park, but just because we were trying to avoid moving.
One thing that I didn't realize how blessed we were first year at Drake, was when we moved in and all those football guys like came in and just enveloped our car. That made it so easy. And I didn't appreciate it at the time, but we really were lucky to have the Drake football team on our side.
See, my parents vividly remember that as well for my sister moving in. And I remember that for seeing other people move in, but that did not happen for me. I don't know if it's because I'm ugly or what it was, but we pulled up in the van and I remember that like my parents and I had to unload the whole car. Like I do not remember anybody.
Really?
You know who I do remember helping? Shout out Johnny Mills. Johnny Mills came sprinting down the hill by Stolly because we met at whatever it's called. Not orientation. What's it called?
Welcome weekend?
Orientation. Like
orientation was before welcome weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, at orientation. So he comes running down and he helps us. And that dude's like jacked. So that was nice of him. And but no, I don't remember any football players helping me. So you got lucky.
They didn't realize that there was a radio star brewing in the midst of that car. And otherwise they would have helped out.
More of a missed opportunity for them, it sounds like.
Yeah. Exactly. I got a trivia question for you. Oh, go ahead.
I was just about to say, that reminds me that I got hit up like, it was like my P3 year. So one of my last years at Drake, someone hit me up. I think they were like a former football player and they were asking if I wanted to join one of the frats. And I think it was like a frat started by a lot of the like either current or former football players. Do you remember which house that was? It was next to you guys, I think.
Phi Delta, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a lot of football guys, yeah.
Yeah, Phi Delta. Okay. I should have joined Phi Delta, dude. I could have been a brother for life.
What could have been? Could have been in the brotherhood.
Okay, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good. I got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
In the new U-Hauls, how many gallons are in that tank?
How big of a U-Haul? You get a 14-footer or what?
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, it's one of the ones that like it wasn't. They say it moves like a 1 to 2 bedroom apartment. So you don't have like the rear view mirror. It like is a thing behind.
I could be grossly off here, but I'm gonna say 40 gallons.
Yeah, I filled it up 35 gallons, and it could have kept going. Like it actually. The gas station didn't let me pay more money. Like it maxed out. Like I sent over like it was like I don't know if it was like $120 or something. But like,
I was gonna say it has to be over $100 easily.
Yeah. So and I didn't even. So I don't know what it is, but it was. I was like, oh, like it'll be 20 gallons. Like, oh, it'll be cheap. Like, no.
I do have to admit, with that trivia question, I had like a little bit of a preconceived notion of bias. That statement didn't make any sense, but yeah, I used to drive U-Hauls at one of my summer jobs. So
no way.
Yeah, those things are hard to maneuver, dude. We used to have to we had this tiny little backyard area where we would like park them, and we'd had to always back them in. So you'd have to like back them in, and like you're like looking, there's like no back windows. So you're like looking at the mirrors, you're like swerving it around, and you had to like basically put them like right next to each other. So it was tough.
It's scary. So what job was that?
That was like the job that we like rented out like tents, and we would go set them up like big, huge party
Yep.
tents and
Yep.
like
For graduations and
all
stuff.
kinds of stuff. Yeah. So we also were like partnered with U-Haul, so we like rented those out as well as part of our income. So
Wow.
pain in the butt
Good.
though.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Moving sucks. Driving U-Haul sucks. That's your
What
grind.
else sucks? Yeah, that's my grinds my gears. What other negative energy are you bringing to the table today?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm trying to see what grinds my gears I've written down here. I had a
Probably my
couple
dog's
from like
barking in the background.
the last like 2 or 3 days. I had a couple things. Your dog's still not as loud as Nate's dog, dude.
Yeah,
Have we talked about on my grinds my gears like public laundry?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, I need to cross that one off my list then. That's for sure on my like checklist of the next place I move is to have in-unit washer dryer. Do you guys have that there?
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the requirements we had.
Yeah.
Partly because of our conversation.
Are you
I'm
rocking a
pretty sure we
pellet?
talked about this.
You rocking a Peloton back there, or what is that?
We did get a Peloton. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. We're pretty excited, but with I wish we would have gotten one or some exercise bike, I guess, when COVID kind of originally hit, because definitely was hard for me to stay fit without going to like the gym and stuff as much. So
Oh, you just like just got that thing?
yeah, yep.
A little Christmas bonus?
Black Friday deal.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say Humana, shout out Humana for the Christmas bonus.
Humana stock just plummeted, so we'll see if we get what our bonus is like this year.
We definitely talked about like paying to run in the marathon, right? Because I definitely hate that. Okay, here's something that I've been seeing on social media, and maybe you can touch on this or have your own opinion on it. But how are people our age like constantly going on vacations?
That's a good one.
Like, do you ever think about that? Like, I scroll through Instagram and whatnot or Snapchat, and I'm just like, how are these people like, number one, getting off of work, number two, paying for these vacations? And I don't have a number three, but like, that's just absurd to me. It's like,
yeah, I feel like I did one big trip with Sophia in October, but that was kind of like to celebrate. We celebrated a lot of stuff for that, and we had planned that for over a year. But other than that, all of our trips were like, let's go to rural Kentucky, rent an Airbnb, and do some hiking. And like the Airbnbs were like $30 a night, more than that. But
and I'm definitely not like vacation shaming, because I'm a big vacation guy for sure. But like my thing that grinds my gears is like when the same people are going on vacations.
And you're talking about like to like Cancun, and then to Florida, then to
I'm like
Cali, and yeah.
How much PTO do you have? And
right.
like, and then you're going on these all-inclusive trips. It's like, it just blows my mind. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I guess I got to negotiate better before getting a job.
It's super interesting now that we've we peaked in college. We're out of college. It's interesting to see what people spend their money on.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of spending money on things, one of my New Year's resolutions, I don't know if you have any New Year's resolutions, besides your planner, of course, and taking care of your the show and your daily life. But one of my New Year's resolutions, I got this book a while back. I went to this like personal finances seminar for pharmacists. It was like, I don't know, an hour long or something. I just listened in, and then there was like a giveaway for a book. And at the time, and basically currently, I don't read. I might as well be illiterate because I just don't read for fun at all. And I entered this drawing to win one of their books, and I actually won one. So then the guy mailed it to me, and I haven't touched it. It's just been like collecting dust, which I feel bad about, but I just haven't had like the time or the motivation. But nothing better than a New Year's resolution to get you started on something. So my New Year's resolution is to read at least a few pages every night of this personal finances book. And I'm learning a few things here and there. So that's good.
Accruing value.
Yeah, exactly. So I really don't know anything about money and personal finances. So I'm trying to educate myself.
Look at you. You're basically a business student now.
Yeah. So cheers to bettering your own finances. The first like couple pages, it has you calculate your net worth. And it turns out my net worth is like negative $180,000.
I love seeing those like charts of like the average net worth of like people. And like, when you're in college, it's like negative for most like 80% of people or something. Like it's absurd.
Yeah.
And like just it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
you'll be fine. You're a pharmacist.
Yeah, that's what they say, but I don't know. We'll see. The book is like very negative about my optimism or my outlook going forward. So we'll see. It says from like 2015 statistics, the most common pharmacy students' debt is $150,000 in debt.
Jesus, that's crazy. And how or like when do they project that that's gone for most people?
Most people will probably drag on for a long time. Like these two authors, they're both pharmacists and they were both in a lot of debt, and so were their wives. And they're like, they tell their stories and also give like their insights and opinions. Like they just hammered away at their debt basically and got out of it in like 5 to 10, I think.
Dang.
So I got to set goals for myself right now. I'm looking at like 10 years is my goal. I'm saying it right now. It's literally recorded. So we can look back in 10 years.
10 years from now.
I'll calculate my net worth and see if I'm negative still. So we'll see.
Dave's gonna be on Forbes top 100.
Yeah.
Richest people in 10 years, but
there is nothing like a swift kick to the groin, like calculating your net worth right after college. I'll tell you that much, especially 6 years at a private school. So
yeah, you'll come out on top though.
My ego took a big shot on that one for sure. But speaking of money, I wanted to ask you if you did the calculation for the Dogecoin investment that I made like 5 or 6 months ago when we started this whole show.
I did, yeah. So I think the first time we fake invested $1,000 into Dogecoin on May 7th, which turned out to be roughly 1,384 shares of Dogecoin, roughly. And today,
that's what $1,000 would have bought.
That's how many shares of Dogecoin were bought. Today, that amount of Dogecoin is only worth $221. So we would have lost. So good thing that if your net worth is negative, that you did not invest, because it would be more negative.
It would be like, by my calculations, like $750 more negative.
Yeah, since the last time we did this, which was I think July 11th, we lost $84 since then. In total, we've lost $779. So.
To the moon, baby. Those going to the moon.
But now might be the time to buy, David. Now might be the time.
Yeah, dude. Now it's low. Now we reinvest another 1,000.
I was actually looking at the chart though. Like we actually like that May 7th. I think it peaked on like May 8th or May 9th, because that was right when like Elon Musk like was trolling it on SNL. Like it was like the day or two after that, and that's when it peaked, and then it's been downhill since.
I think we buy the dip, Craig, and we put another peaked in we put some of peaked in college sponsorship funds back into Doge, and we pump it to the moon.
Yep. Let's do it.
See, the book hasn't mentioned investing in Dogecoin yet, but I think that might be in the back appendix. So I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Send me a snapshot of that chapter, because I'd like to read it.
Okay. I will let you know what they think about Dogecoin. I think crypto just as a whole is just like blows my mind. I don't know. It's like such a risk to me, but it's such like a boom or bust. And like, I don't know. I just have to stay away.
Well, I feel like that's kind of the point I tried to make when we were originally doing it, is that the buying window when people don't know about it has passed. And so now it's not undervalued, right? Everyone knows about it now. And so that's what it is. It's gambling. Like, and it could pay off huge, or you could end up losing $779 in like 6 months.
I wonder, that makes me think about the guy that I used to work with. I probably told you about this story like when we first started talking about this, but this dude invested like 10 grand in a Dogecoin.
Yep.
And he was up when I was working with him at the time. Like, so it must've been like late April to early May, like when we did this whole bit. He was up like 130K.
It's crazy.
And I wonder,
do you know if he sold? I mean, but he didn't sell
no
it.
Idea. I might just text him and just ask him if he held, or if he has.
He'd be a good guest.
Should I just text him and say glass hands ?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we'll bring him on one of these episodes to talk about his investing profile.
Yeah, we need an NFT expert on the show.
Oh God, that's another thing that just confuses the heck out of me. NFTs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just puts my brain in a pretzel. Okay, I'm sorry. It seems like you got something to say, and I just keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I forgot what I was going to say. So.
Gosh darn it.
I do remember what I was going to say. I do have another grind in my gears.
Okay, excellent, Craig. I'm real proud of you.
A lot of 2022 is. I think it's gonna be a good year. I'm getting all my
This is
negative
your
energy
year,
out right
dude.
away. Yeah,
You're slowly turning into me, I think.
yeah. I'm gonna have a little positive spin, but man, I love fantasy football,
Okay.
but I hate it so freaking much. The best team never wins. It sucks. I don't want to turn this into a fantasy football pod because there's a million of those. But how'd your team do this year?
Well, I had three
Yep.
teams, three leagues. I made the
Yep.
playoffs in all three.
Yep.
One is a 2 seed and two is a 3 seed.
Yep.
And I did not win any of the three leagues.
That makes sense.
I took third place in one league and did not place top three in any of the other two leagues. So that just goes to show, like, I was one of the best teams throughout the year. Come to the playoffs and just like take a big dump in the bed. It's just like,
and it's just happens. Right. It's just random. I mean, if you look at the top running backs like the last 2 weeks of the season, it's just absurd. Because it's backups and stuff. It's frustrating when you have such a good regular season and you earn a top 3, 4, 2 seed, whatever, and then you get bounced by someone who just has a good week. And obviously that's what makes it fun. And I've been the other side of that, but this year I got upset a lot early in the playoffs.
Yeah, in this league that I took third, I had actually won 2 years in a row. So I was going for a three-peat.
Dang, the three-peat would have
And
been
I took
lit.
third. Yeah, it would have been legendary.
Dang.
So fantasy is very frustrating. I think the goal for everyone should always just be to make the playoffs, and then anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah, just like March Madness.
Okay, well, that's our fantasy football talk for the day.
Done.
Let's talk about hard work. Okay, the reason I want to bring this up is because I was scrolling Twitter the other day, and I know that doesn't line up with hard work, but that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I saw Drake men's basketball Twitter account post a tweet about Garrett Sturtz, who's always been like this hardworking guy. He's a grinder, he just grinds and gets rebounds and scraps and works hard. He's the Alex Alba of Drake men's basketball, I would say.
Yeah.
And he had this segment where he found this blue hard hat at Drake somewhere, I imagine, and he carries it around with him on his backpack throughout the whole season. So it was like to attribute to his hard work. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I feel like it's just fun to watch players like him play basketball. And he's like, obviously he's a Division I basketball player, like he's super talented, but just watch him just like outwork people is so much fun. And without shout out Alex Alba, got us some t-shirts, but that man will trash talk you till the day you die. I don't think Garrett Sturtz does that.
No, he doesn't seem like a trash talker. He's just a hard worker, and it's cool to see like things pay off for those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And he's doing well, so good for him. But kind of my first thought at it was like after I got over the fact that it was like pretty cool story, cool segment of like he's a local guy, I think from around Des Moines. So, but he stole that construction hat, right? Like, are we in agreement to that? Like, if it's not finders keepers, Garrett Sturtz, you got to return that construction hat.
Or it was a marketing tactic and someone laid it down. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I would have slapped like a Drake Bulldog sticker on it or something if that was the case.
That's like a present from Griff or something.
Because some construction site now is not meeting code, and some poor guy is going to get a severe head injury because of Garrett Sturtz.
Right. That's not hard work.
No. How about that for a twist in the storyline?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Drake men's basketball has had some serious head injuries already. So
okay, that's fair. That's fair. This whole thing reminded me though, when I played baseball in high school, our coach, and I'm sorry if you're watching this right now, Coach Johnson, I doubt you are, but he made us carry around a lunchbox. But it was like a metal one that he called a lunch pail. And we had like this phrase all throughout our senior year called "Bring your lunch pail." And it was like, because like his dad was a construction worker and brought his lunch pail every day to work, rain or shine, he showed up to work and brought his lunch pail. So we had to carry this black metal lunch pail to every home and away game on the bus. We had to bring it. Like, if you didn't bring it, you had to run sprints and like you were penalized. And like that, and we had them like on our shirt, like hashtag bring your lunch pail. Like this was the full, like the whole 9 yards. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your initial thoughts?
Awesome. I love that. Was your team good?
Yeah, we were good, but it doesn't matter. I did not like that concept.
I feel like the thing I'm enjoying about that is just the silliness of those things in high school sports that we would do.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, you think it's more like you enjoy the concept because you think it's funny.
Right, but I didn't have to run sprints because of it. Like, yeah, it's so stupid, but
Yeah.
that's funny that was like the coach's shtick, you know?
And it would be kind of cool if you could use it to like carry some things you needed for baseball, some batting gloves, some pine tar, some eye black. But no, we had to carry in it was a tennis ball holder full of sand with duct tape on it so that we could like warm our arms up with the sand.
Oh, that was my question. Was going to be my question was like, could you put your lunch in it?
No,
because it's a lunch. So,
no.
wow.
So not only did we have to carry it around, but it was heavy, and we didn't carry anything like useful in there. Just a sand thing to stretch our arm out. So it was like a shake weight, like a poor man's shake weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna do the motion of it for the fans, but I just chose that.
You can blur that out. Blur that out.
Yeah, we'll blur that out.
I had a funny. Here, let me grab something quick.
Okay.
I had a funny. Talking about funny like high school slogans for sports. My tennis team, the courts were next to a baseball field, and in between the baseball field and the tennis courts was a big water tower. So our team slogan that we would shout before the game because it would pump us up was to defend the tower.
Oh no!
We had these
no,
shirts.
That was for tennis.
Yeah, it's for tennis.
Oh no!
Defend the tower, baby.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. So basically, high school sports just comes up with crazy things to get you going, really, to get the blood flowing in those high school age kids.
Exactly.
Doesn't take much. Does not take much. But wow, that's very interesting. I didn't know tennis really had things like that to get you going. So I thought you just showed up and played.
Yeah, well, we had t-shirts custom made. So
I would say
funny. It started because this one like dad of a kid, and their family's awesome and really big tennis and basketball family in Hastings, but he just started yelling one day like defend the tower, and it just like caught on, and that was our slogan for the rest.
Oh my gosh, there was this some fan screaming that. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's a cool story. Defend the tower. I lost my train of thought.
Should we jump into our top 3 list of the day?
Yeah, let's just do top 3. I like it. We're going to have a special guest next episode, by the way. So we're looking forward to that. Send us any ideas about, top 3s you want to see. Maybe Craig, you can throw up a couple of Instagram stories, and we can announce the guests on your Instagram story. So go check out Craig's Instagram and get the first sight of who our guest is going to be on next episode, and maybe DM Craig some ideas.
Good call. Yeah, and I've been handling those special guest inquiries, so we'll get that date out soon.
Yeah. When I got back from the holidays, my fax machine was just full of requests from people's agents trying to get on the show. So
right.
Yeah.
We might have Machine Gun Kelly. We might have
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, he's coming on. I think in what was it, April? He's coming on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pete Davidson's trying to get on.
Pete Davidson. I think is March 3rd. So he'll be on. Yeah, I think Kanye is March 14th, if I remember correctly.
Pi Day, yeah, because it's Pi Day. That's why I reached out.
Oh yeah, he's huge Pi Day guy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. But okay, our top 3 today. We decided to do like our top 3 streaming services, or basically like monthly subscriptions for entertainment that we pay for. This is in line with the finances talk that we had, starting to budget, think about what things are most valuable to me and what things I can cut.
What deteriorates your net worth?
Yeah. What deteriorates my net worth? Yeah. What makes that negative 180 into a negative 181 or something, right. So, yeah. All right. So Craig, I will let you go first since you've been having a rough, 2 months with the move and all that. So I'll give you the honors of starting. We can go with, 3, 2, 1, if you'd like, work our way up to 1. Do you want to do that? Or?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I will. I feel like this already kind of was ruined, but my number 3 is actually the Peloton app. It's not really entertainment, but at the same time, it kind of is. It's a little show. It's a big production. I thought that would be dropping that on this segment, so no surprise there. But it's a really cool app. I've been maximizing those gains, been putting that work in, but I actually really am impressed with the app, and I can, filter how many minutes I want to work out in a day and what kind of workout I want to do. So I've been really loving it.
And you can like race against people, right?
Yeah, and I don't really do that because like I don't like, when on my name it says like I'm a male 20 living in Chicago, and
You
then
don't
there's
like to
like
embarrass
a
people.
60-year-old woman that's like beating me in like, a bike race. But like that's why I don't like pay attention to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
some people do.
Yeah, my grandma, when I was living with her, she was putting in like 5 to 6 miles a day, not on a Peloton, but on some sort of exercise bike. She's like 89 years old, so yeah, they can really move. They can move.
Yeah, and it's that's when it's so cold out because like I go running sometimes. I mean, my favorite way to work out is just playing hoops, but with COVID and stuff, like it's hard to. So
I'm gonna like slither in a little grinds my gears within this segment to help enhance this segment.
go for it.
One of my grinds my gears is when I'm watching a show. For example, the first thing that comes to my mind is the show Tanked about fish tanks.
Yeah.
I hate when they don't put like how much money their different projects cost for the customer. Like any show that does cool things, like number two that I think of, the Treehouse show. They make really cool tree houses, but they never say how much they cost. So what I want to do, Craig, in this segment is say how much each app costs a month. So how much does a Peloton app cost you a month?
39.
$39.99 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess the rationale is that, so I live with my girlfriend, we don't have a gym membership. So
hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, Craig.
Yeah.
Oh, I do think that's worth it, especially if you're going to spend the money on the bike. Getting the app it's worth it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and that kind of helps you get motivated too to hit the bike and hit the workouts and do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay, yeah, cool.
It's good. What's your number three?
Now that I'm really thinking about it and processing it, it's going to be hard because I don't know which ones to save because I don't want you to snag them. But I'm really glad you did the Peloton app because I obviously don't have a Peloton, so I can't do that one. So thank you. That's very unselfish of you.
Yeah.
I will go number three. I'm going to go Apple TV. And when I say Apple TV,
hot take.
I just complained about not telling the pricing, but I have no idea what the pricing is because when we got new phones, I got 1 year
you
of
get
Apple
free.
TV.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
So I apologize to the viewers that I just complained about this and I can't back up my complaints. But Apple TV, it's got to be like, I'm going to say $9.99 a month. I'm going to put a dollar stamp on it. The reason that I choose this as my number three is number one, because I'm saving some good ones, hoping that you don't use them. Number two, Ted Lasso.
So good.
Ted Lasso is the greatest show probably that I've ever seen.
Ever.
It has made me smile nonstop. And you know how powerful something has to be, Craig, to make me smile.
Yeah, that's like, I have a lot more faith in humanity right now. Yeah, I didn't know that was possible.
And that's Ted Lasso's power, really. And it's brought me to tears. So really just a roller coaster of emotions, but just really gratitude from my behalf on the creators of Ted Lasso and Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, it's a great show. Are you through season 2?
I'm through season 2, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's such a good show. I want to rewatch it. It just, I don't know if I've ever watched a show where there's like fun character development, but like I laugh and I just feel so good about life afterwards.
It makes you it's a very good feel good show. And when you mentioned that, like I didn't even actively think about it, maybe subconsciously, but the character development is excellent.
Yeah.
Like it takes characters in directions that you didn't really expect, which is really cool. So, all right, there's my number three. I'm probably going to regret it going forward once we start listing things off, but go ahead. Let's hear your number two, Craig.
No, that's a great one. Especially, I mean, and it's funny because if Ted Lasso was on Apple TV, would that have made your list?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any single thing besides
it's the Ted Lasso app. That's what it is.
Yes.
My number two is what got me through moving. And
that was what I think you're gonna say.
Spotify.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And we've already talked about like Spotify versus Apple Music. We don't need to hash that out, but really, I'm a big podcast. Yeah, I listen to some music. I don't listen to enough. But I always like to be, when I'm doing kind of mindless tasks, like moving boxes around, I'm always trying to listen to a podcast. So I like that there's entertaining podcasts. I like that there's learning podcasts. I like that there's news podcasts, sports podcasts. So that's kind of my, a lot of my waking hours when I'm doing cooking or cleaning. That's what I'm listening to.
All right, good. Yeah, that's a phenomenal answer, Craig. Yeah, I mean, I love Spotify. I think it's much better than Apple Music. You forgot to price stamp it. What do you pay a month for Spotify?
So it's weird because I'm on the family. I split it with my family. I forget what that is.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what the personal one is. $10.99 a month for Spotify.
Okay.
It skyrocketed. It doubled once I graduated from college. I ran out of my college subscription. My little sister's on my account, so I pay $10.99 a month for both of us. I don't know how that deal got worked out because, I'm going to start having more requests under $5. I'm reading this personal finances book. You can't let people take advantage of you financially.
Right.
That's chapter 1.
You need to tell your sister negative 180 net worth.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a charity case. Okay.
Right.
That's not how this works. So, okay. That's a good one, Craig.
Was that on your list?
It was definitely on my list. It was going to be the next thing out of my mouth, actually.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to pivot here, and I'm going to go my number 2. It's got to be Netflix.
Okay.
So I'm going with Netflix. I think, like, when in doubt, you open up the Netflix app, you scroll for a little bit. I think they've had some newer movies on there, not newer movies, but movies that they've added that are great classics. I think I've just seen like some good Step Brothers on there, Talladega Nights.
Fire
Those are the
movies
first 2 that popped
for
in my head.
casual watching. Yeah.
But great movies that like I've maybe already seen, but they're classics, and I can just turn them on. The Other Guys, things like that. Where,
Yeah.
they're just
Easy
good
watching.
to watch. Yeah, easy
When in
watch.
doubt, Netflix it out.
When in doubt, Netflix it out. And I believe Netflix is like. Do you have any idea?
I don't. My girlfriend has Netflix, but I don't use it. So.
Well, this is a good time in the show then for me to say thank you to my parents, because I don't know how much Netflix costs a month. So I appreciate my parents having the Netflix subscription and allowing me to mooch off them. So
here's a good point in the show to point out that David has now been hypocritical twice in the last 5 minutes about his own grinds my gears.
Yeah, if they end up watching this, they're gonna probably be like pissed at me for telling my sister she needs to pay me for Spotify, and they're gonna start charging me for Netflix. So I take it back, Abby. You can mooch off my Spotify as much as you want. Mom and Dad, please don't charge me for Netflix.
That's a good segue into my last one, because I have to thank Santa for this one, because this is a Christmas gift that I get that I've gotten the last couple of years.
Okay.
And my top subscription service is Disney Plus.
Okay. That's number 1.
Number 1. Yeah, I've gotten to be a pretty big Marvel fan. But even I didn't realize like all the Star Wars stuff is Disney. It doesn't have to be the Cinderella story, like the fairy tales. Like there's just a lot of good content. Wow, I said that like I was still living in Kentucky. There's a lot of good content that I didn't necessarily think about, and so I feel like I use Netflix more than any other streaming service.
Did you say you use Netflix? Did you mean Disney Plus?
Oh yeah, I meant Disney Plus, because I don't use Netflix. So
okay, no, that's a good answer. I was very shocked when I logged into Disney Plus and found out that it was way more than just Disney, like the prototypical, stereotypical Disney stuff. So shout out Disney Plus. All right, my number 1. I'm glad you didn't say it. You might not even have it. Shout out May Morehauser. My number 1 subscription is YouTube TV. So that is a monthly subscription that I share with my old college roommate named Morehauser. It is basically cable. Cut the cords, everyone. Cut the cords and get subscriptions. We're able to record shows on there. We can watch on multiple devices at once. I can watch on my phone, my laptop, my TV. We are not sponsored by YouTube TV, so I should probably stop talking about how great it is. But actually, they just recently bumped up the price, so not super happy with that. But the total monthly cost for YouTube TV, I believe, is now roughly $69.99 a month. So a good streaming service to share with people, I think, because they allow 3 devices at once. So there's that. How much is Disney Plus a month? You forgot to mention it.
So that's one I guess I don't know either, because Santa gives it to me every year.
Oh, Santa. Shoot. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Do you think that's difficult for the elves to make the Disney Plus subscription, or do you think it's like pretty routine at this point?
Well, I think they help up making with the Disney toys. So like there's some like weird contract negotiation where like I don't know. I think they get a good discount.
Like it's almost second nature at this point.
Yeah.
Like they've seen it for. Well, I mean, Disney stuff has been out for 50 years.
It's easy to replicate the film.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they've got some tech elves.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about it. They got a Geek Squad up in the North Pole that I forgot about.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know how long we've been running, but I think this is maybe a good stopping point for this week's episode. What do you think, Craig?
I think it's been good. It's been good to get back into it. We'll I think we're trying to do about one of these shows a month, and we'll have a special guest on the next time.
Yeah, I don't know if we should make any promises. I mean, how many times have we said let's do like every other week, once a month, and then we usually go like 2 months between episodes. But you know what? The planner is here. The
The
New Year's
planner is
resolutions
here.
are here, and we are about to make some moves. So
It's a
we'll
time
see
to be
you.
optimistic, David.
We will see you all next month, the middle of February, with our future guest. Go to Craig Nielsen's Instagram page to see who that guest is.
Sounds good.
All right, Craig, thanks for coming on. Looking for the stop button here. Great to see your face again. It's been too long. Glad you made the move safely. Shout out Sophia for helping you as well. We will talk soon, within the next month.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, buddy. Peace
All right.
out.